Hi, my name's Michaela. I'm a student dietitian and today I'm going to be eating and training like Chloe Ting. So I'm using Chloe Ting's most recent What I Eat in a Day in order to choose what meals I'm going to have. All the recipes come from her website, so I'm able to get pretty close to what she's eating. And then for the exercises, I'm in the middle of the 21-day weight loss challenge, so I'm going to be following that for day 6 for today. I would assume that those aren't the exercises that Chloe herself does, but since they are part of her program, I thought it fit quite well with eating and training like Chloe. I've been following Chloe Ting's weight loss challenge, and on this day was day 6. There were 3 resistance exercise videos, unlike many of the other days that have cardio exercises as well. So for this day, it was a core and booty workout, then an abs workout, and then a booty workout again. Okay, so first meal of the day, it's breakfast and we're having baked oats, peach and berry flavour. Peaches actually aren't in season at the moment, so I'm using apple to decorate the top instead. Obviously all the recipes are on Chloe's website, so I'm not going to show you guys exactly how I'm going to make them, but I'll show you guys on that. Okay, so here's the final product. I think it looks really good. The raspberries especially look really nice. Add a bit of colour. I'm just going to put a little bit of almond butter on top. Okay, perfect. This is actually 2 servings, so I'm going to have half of this for my breakfast. And let's see how it tastes. So this is super nice. If I was making it again, I'd put some of the fruit in the actual oats because the oatmeal itself doesn't really have much flavour in it. I put cinnamon, I put vanilla in, but it's just missing a bit of something. So having a bit more fruit mixed in might be really good. Okay, so moving on to the snack now. It is Ferrero Roche style hazelnut chocolate kind of energy balls, which sounds fab. And they seem pretty easy to make. It's just cocoa powder, dates, hazelnuts, and then I pre-made the Nutella kind of spread. It's a little bit firm in comparison to what she had, but hopefully it'll still work out okay. So I'll let you guys see that once it's done. Sorry, my memory card hit full there, so I got cut off. But the filling, I just used roasted hazelnuts. I added cocoa powder, liquid sweetener, like a calorie-free sweetener, and that was it. Just blended it up. Mine is much thicker than hers was, but it actually made it easier, I think, to put it inside the rest of the mixture. But yeah, totally recommend these. Obviously not something you do when you're on a busy day, but maybe on the weekend or if you're meal prepping. These are super yum and full of healthy fats. And fibre, so super good little snack. Okay, so it's lunchtime now. I've been snacking on the Ferrero Roche balls all morning. I think I've had like 5 or 6 at this stage, so that's been keeping me full. But now I'm going to be having teriyaki tofu, which seems pretty simple. I have to cook the tofu. I'm just going to put mine in the air fryer. Then I have to add the sauce and reduce it down a bit, and then just serve it with the rice and veggies. So it seems pretty simple, and hopefully it's going to be super tasty. Here's the final teriyaki teriyaki tofu lunch recipe. I was actually surprised by how easy it was to make. The teriyaki sauce went perfectly. I've had problems like trying to get it to thicken before, but this recipe worked. Especially like I'm impressed since I didn't follow the quantities, because obviously I don't want a load of the sauce. I just made enough just to have today. But yeah, let's taste it. I'm really happy with that. I haven't had teriyaki anything in ages, and it worked really well. It was easy. I also used cauliflower rice to save a bit of time as well. And it's so nice to have a bit of protein, because we haven't had protein yet today. And since I'm pretty active as well, it's nice to get some protein. And then obviously you have lots of extra veggies here as well. So I'm happy to get tucked into this. I'm not even finished my lunch, but I want to get started on the dinner, which is the vegan barbecue ribs, because the tempeh, I'm using tofu instead, needs to be marinated before it can be cooked, like 3 hours. She even said overnight, but it's a bit late for that now. A lot of the ingredients are not things that are easy to find in the supermarkets here. Tempeh, liquid smoke, vegan Worcestershire sauce. So I've substituted where I could, and I had to leave a few things out, but I'm sure overall it's going to taste pretty similar to what she had. The sauce is reduced down now. It's reduced quite a lot, which is great, because I was worried I was going to have a little bit too much. And now I'm using my tofu, and I'm going to marinate that until dinner time. So we'll probably get 2.5 hours, so hopefully that's enough to absorb a bit of the flavour. Last meal of the day, I'm going to be having my tofu barbecue ribs. I've just paired it with some frozen veg and some leftover cauliflower rice. So it is nice, but it kind of overpoweringly tastes like tomato. There's not really much else in it. I didn't follow the recipe exactly, so maybe that's why. But I'm not sure I'd have 2 meals in the same day with tofu, because I find that a little bit boring. I'd rather mix it up. But separately on different days, the 2 meals would be really nice. I was impressed, and I'll admit a little bit surprised, that the energy balance of these meals was quite similar to the recommendations. Fat was a little bit higher, and as a result carbohydrates were a little bit lower. But since a lot of the fat came from healthy unsaturated sources like those found in the nuts and the olive oil, I thought it was pretty healthy overall. And even if you were to use less oil when you're cooking the main meals or making the sauces, that could help you get even closer to the recommendations for fat. When I estimated the calories contained in the meals today, it worked out at 1,852, which, based on my requirement, would put me in a 360 calorie deficit. I was surprised it wasn't much more, since Chloe and I have such different lifestyles and body types. But obviously, if I was to follow this kind of eating long term, I would need to eat a little bit more, or I would end up losing weight. What impressed me most was that my fibre and protein requirements were met by this day of eating. So fibre was at 33, and all adults are recommended to get around 30 grams per day. And protein for me is around 68 grams, and I got even above that. I thought it was also great that protein was spread out between all 3 meals, and that probably helped at being able to reach the protein requirement. I was impressed with the nutritional content of the meals I had today. There was a pretty good balance of fat, carbohydrates and protein. And even though the fat was a little bit high, it was mostly all unsaturated fats, which are the healthy fats and nuts and seeds and things like that. Whereas there's very little saturated fat or unhealthy fat. I found the recipes very easy to follow. They didn't take much skill, they didn't take too many ingredients, and I was able to kind of substitute things when I didn't have the right ingredients. I will say though, they were a bit time consuming, especially the energy balls took a good while, which ended up being a positive because I couldn't eat like 10 million at a time. I kind of made them as I wanted them and managed to kind of save them for 3 days. And the marinating of the ribs obviously took some time, which I luckily noticed before I started making them, but maybe could have missed and ended up like not having the dish that I wanted. I really enjoy Chloe's workouts, I always have. I've been doing her challenges for like the best part of a year now, so obviously I do find them challenging yet like not too difficult as well, and there's enough variety that you kind of don't get bored of them. I will say the website isn't great on the recipe section. There's so many ads. It's actually quite tricky to navigate the website without like getting bombarded with them. Also the filters when I was searching through the recipes wouldn't work for me, so I couldn't sort them by like whether they were breakfast, lunch or dinner or alphabetically or anything, so it was actually really hard to find the dishes because I knew exactly what dishes I wanted to prepare. But maybe that's just, it doesn't work very well on my phone, maybe it would be better on the computer. I also thought the ingredients in the recipes sometimes were unnecessarily like difficult to find, and I've noticed that from some of her previous what I eat in a day videos. I wonder, does she like get a lot of her groceries online or something, because there's lots of different like flours and different sauces and things that she uses that I just would never be able to find in a supermarket here. I'd have to like order from the US or something, and so I don't think that's very practical for most people, but maybe other people don't find it as difficult to get those ingredients. So I think it's always important to keep in mind with these kind of videos that this may not be what Chloe eats in a day. It could be a way of promoting her recipe website or something like that. Also, what she eats doesn't really affect what someone else should eat because the requirements are so different. She's obviously very active. She is like a certain weight and height that changes her requirements. So it's not great to always closely compare yourself with other influencers online because your body needs something different to theirs. So overall, I really enjoyed eating and training like Chloe Ting. I'm excited to continue with the weight loss challenge and see how I get on. Hopefully we see some good results. I'm going to be documenting my progress with that challenge as well, and I'll be uploading my video with my before and afters, how I found it, how were the workouts, were they challenging, were they too easy, and that kind of thing. So subscribe if you'd like to see that video, and make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it so I know what kind of videos you guys like to watch. And if you're interested in some healthy recipes and nutrition facts, be sure to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @MichaelaNutrition. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!